Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. During his primetime address from the White House on Wednesday, U.S. President Donald Trump said the war in Iran could end within 2 to 3 weeks as America's objectives in the region are nearing completion. Touting the progress made by Operation Epic Fury in disabling Iran's navy, weapons factories, and missile and drone operations, he added that the U.S. operation will continue, saying that there could be severe economic pain and instability unless it is guaranteed that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. Speaking on America's role in the conflict, Trump said the military action is not aimed at securing resources like oil, but at supporting U.S. allies, emphasizing that the U.S. no longer depends on the Middle East for energy. President Lee Jae-myung has called for the need to upgrade South Korea's partnership with France towards a deeper strategic coordination. In a contribution to French daily Le Figaro published on Thursday, President Lee stressed the need to bolster bilateral cooperation on AI, nuclear energy, hydrogen, and space technologies amid increasing global uncertainties. He is set to host his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron tomorrow. This year marks 140 years since the start of Korean-French diplomatic relations. Consumer prices in South Korea rose to 2.2% in March, up for the first time since January on the back of higher oil prices triggered by the Middle East conflict. According to the Ministry of Data and Statistics this morning, the price of petroleum products surged by just under 10% compared to the year before, marking the fastest rise since October 2022 when the war in Ukraine began. Falling prices for agricultural goods helped ease overall inflation, with the index measuring prices for fresh food falling by more than 6%. Inflation in South Korea had held steady at 2% in both January and February. South Korean automakers Hyundai Motor and Kia posted record first-quarter results in the U.S., despite a slight dip in March sales driven by strong demand for eco-friendly vehicles and SUVs. Hyundai Motor America reported March sales of 84,087 units, down 3% from a year earlier, largely due to a high base effect from unusually strong pre-demand ahead of anticipated U.S. auto tariffs. However, strong momentum in January and February lifted Hyundai's first-quarter sales to 205,388 units, up 1% on-year, marking its highest-ever first-quarter performance. Kia also achieved a record quarter, with sales rising 0.8% from the same period last year. NASA's Artemis II mission lifted off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on Wednesday. The 10-day journey around the moon will send humans deeper into space than ever before. NASA astronauts Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Christina Koch, along with Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, lifted off just before sunset aboard the Space Launch System rocket. 3.5 hours into flight, the crew will take manual control of the Orion capsule to test its steering and maneuverability. That is the first of dozens of test objectives planned throughout the mission. Artemis II is a critical step toward NASA's first crewed lunar landing since 1972, which the agency targets for 2028. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.